on YouTube for years, and you may have seen him too. He's been on television. He's been all over the world. Everybody has seen this guy. He's doing weather reports, and he's done so much more that we're going to talk about. I don't want to reveal it all. But the first thing I do want to say is, Frankie, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm so excited to have you.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I've got a bunch of questions I'm going to ask. I just want to tell everybody a big apology from me to everyone. I got the time wrong when Frankie said he would do this. I thought that Atlantic Standard Time was the same as Eastern Standard Time. It's off by an hour, and I know that you guys, we're going to wait another hour for this show, so big apology, but here we are. We're an hour early, and I'm going to try to keep Frankie for as long as I can. And hopefully we'll go into that next hour. So when people do come that thought it was going to be at 1 o'clock, they'll be able to still catch him live. So that being said, Frankie, is there anywhere on the internet, anything that where you are right now, where you want to promote? Because I like to get that done first, not last. It's most important that people can find you. Is there anything you'd like to promote?
My Twitter's at Frankie MacD. My book is Be Prepared, Frank Down Guide to Life, Weather, and Everything is written by Sarah Soller of Nimbus Publishing, and my action figures designed by Ben Kimball. He lives in Big Spring, Texas. And Ben Kimball painted every single gap right here.
I love that.
On my action figure.
That's the trademark, man. That's separation right there.
My YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves, and my Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD 1984. My TikTok is Frankie MacDonald 1984, and my Snapchat is Frankie MacDonald, and my LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald as well.
TikTok, huh?
Yes.
So does that mean I can find some dances on TikTok from you?
You can Google Frankie MacDonald too.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, so I've got a question for you. I noticed, one of the very first things that I noticed when I watched you on the internet was you're funny. You interject comedy into your channel, and I was just wondering, because I know you cover the weather, and that's a very serious thing, but you also do comedy at the same time, and I was wondering, how did you come to that decision? What made you decide that you were going to put both comedy and serious weather together on the same channel?
That means when I was a little boy, I wanted to grow up. I wanted to be a weatherman. I used to drive bikes, swimming, walking, running when I was a little boy. That means I did the very first video of myself on December 16, 2009. I did the very first video of the senior on December 27, 2007. I graduated from Sydney Academy High School in Sydney, Nova Scotia in June 2004. I did the very first viral video, Severe Earthquake Warning for California, September 2010. I made it Tosh.0 Season 2, Episode 13, 10 years ago.
It's amazing. When you are doing your weather report, I noticed that you have a lot of information about the storm, and then you have a be prepared thing that you recite at the end. You say, be prepared, make sure you have your pizzas ordered, make sure you have your Coca-Cola, make sure you have your cell phones charged, you have that whole thing that you say. Is that something that you write down and you read it, or is that something that you have by memory?
That each storm, major winter storms in the states, I just say, people in Wisconsin, be prepared. Have your winter boots ready, winter jackets ready, hats and gloves, scarves, and ski fences ready. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food, buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coke. Do your grocery shopping, don't wait till the last minute. Do it right now. Make sure if your Samsung Galaxy charge, Samsung Galaxy smartphone charge, Samsung Galaxy tablet charge, smartphone, cell phones, laptops, tablets charge, have your 3G, 4G, 5G, LTE internet ready as well. When you drive the car, take your time, drive the car, slow down, so don't get in car accidents. When you go for a walk, be very careful walking, see the clothes slip or fall. Make sure if your furnace is ready, turn on your furnace to keep those warm. Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green tea, keep you warm. Have extra blankets ready, keep you warm. So make sure if your shovels, hefts, snow scoops, snow blowers, snow plows, salt trucks ready as well. The heft is a secondary handle attaches on the shovel like this.
So, did you just recite that from memory, or did you read that?
I memorized it. Wow. And I do dance videos, I do comedy videos. Now I'm doing video about Bitcoin cryptocurrency. It's like if Bitcoin is worth more than U.S. currency.
Now, I saw that you have a video of you saying Bitcoin. I haven't watched it yet, but it's only 7 seconds long. What is that video?
I just said it. Bitcoin!
Thank you so much for doing that for us. Thank you. I love that. And that is something that I love about you, and something I love about your channel is that you have no rules, you have no boundaries, you do what you want, you say what you want, and you're hilarious. And you touch a lot of lives, and you make a lot of people laugh, and you keep a lot of people safe too. And I've got
Yes.
Just a silly question. When you're reading, 'cause I know I'm assuming that you're reading a weather report. How is your vision? Is that okay? Because I have a hard time seeing. Are you reading off?
That means I have a great vision. I study the weather models a lot. If it's a storm headed their way, when the storm hits somewhere in a couple of days, I warn people to get them prepared.
All right, so you're reading weather reports, or are you reciting them from memory?
I just study the weather models. I just make up my own weather reports to warn people.
So you're not when you're saying warning. And let's just say there's something coming to the East Coast of the United States, and you're saying warning East Coast. There's going to be flooding. There's going to be extreme weather. There's going to be storms. There's going to be up to 16 inches of rain. Is any of that red, or is that all coming from your memory?
Like it's a hurricane that says flood warning, and if it's a red, or a rainfall warning that's red, watch it's like yellow. Special weather statement is gray.
I always wondered if you were reading that, or if that was something that you were just, because you do it so fast. And so I thought, man, is he really reading that off of a weather chart? Or so thank you for answering that. Is this where I'm just going to ask you, I'm going to ask you this later, but I'm going to just ask you now. Have you always lived where you live right now, or have you moved?
Yes, I lived in Sydney, Nova Scotia all my life.
Okay, cool. I lived in Orlando, Florida for a good part of mine. And the thing about living in Orlando, it's humid and it's hot and it rains a lot. We get hurricanes there. So as growing up, I knew I was going to have a lot of storms. As you were growing up, did you have really massive storms coming through where you lived?
They had Hurricane Matthew, they had Hurricane Hortense, Hurricane Ivan, then they had Hurricane Earl from September 2010, then they had Hurricane Dorian from last year in September 2019. They had, before my time, they had hurricanes that hit eastern Nova Scotia and back in the 70s. They had an October storm back in the 70s too.
And this had growing up, I'm just wondering, do you live on the coast? Are you near the ocean?
I live in eastern Cape Breton Island, Sydney, Nova Scotia. That's pretty close to Atlantic Ocean. Newfoundland is an island.
So I'm thinking that living near the ocean, you can get some pretty dramatic weather systems that come through when you live near the ocean. I was just figuring that had something to do with you getting into weather, was the fact that you were experiencing extreme weather all your life.
I watched the weather on TV a lot when I was a kid.
And you were inspired by the weather reports that you watched?
Yes.
And when you were younger, do you remember any of the weathermen that you watched, or women that did the weather when you were growing up? Do you remember any of them?
I remember Chris St. Clair and things like that, those past meteorologists. Back in 1996, Winnipeg, Manitoba had golf ball size hail. Smashed the windshield and everything back then.
Wow.
And sometime in the 1990s, Madison had a hail size of tennis ball and tornado touchdown near Swift Current.
Wow. Wow. So, okay, I've got where you live, is it a beautiful area? Does it have a pretty view? Are you able to go out there and see sunrises and sunsets, or boats out on the water or anything like that?
Yes, it's sunrise and sunset and things like that.
It's pretty. So it sounds like a nice place. It sounds like you have a nice place to live there. And is there any wildlife out there in that area where you live?
They got coyotes and got some bears up in the Highlands National Park. And got fox and things like that. They got some bears out in the woods somewhere.
Have you ever seen any wildlife personally?
I saw fox.
Nice. I love foxes. Oh, you see moose and deer. So,
I saw deer on the trail last year.
oh yeah? Did they have horns? Were they like
Deer's got horns.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we've got a few of those out here as well. Those are the male ones out here. But I'm under the impression that both male and female have horns.
The female deer is doe.
Is a doe, correct? That is correct, and the male is the buck. That is correct.
Yeah.
All right. So I love the name of your channel, Dogs and Wolves, because it's. Go ahead.
2 dogs chased me down Victoria Road, Windy Pier on October 24th, 2008, and I outran the dogs. The dogs just running, barking.
Is that what inspired you to write that? They get the name for your YouTube channel, Dogs and Wolves?
Yes.
So, how the wolves play into that?
Wolves is the same breed as dogs. Dogs come from wolves.
Dogs come from wolves. Exactly. So, do you have a preference, dogs or wolves?
Dogs and wolves, they're in the same family.
So you're not going to pick one. You're going to say dogs and wolves. I like them both. I agree. I like that. I like dogs and wolves too. I have a dog too. My dog is sitting right here. Actually, his name is Rogan. You might see his head right there. He's got a big black and white head here. I'll show you a little bit better. There he is. That's my doggy. He's laying on my couch. So whenever you are talking about weather, what is it that excites you the most, as far as, I hear it in your voice. I know that you're passionate about it. So what kind of a system is it that really gets you going? You're like, oh man, I got to warn the people about this.
Yes. That means when the storm system headed somewhere East Coast and West Coast or overseas, I warn those people to get them prepared.
And is there a specific kind of storm that you prefer talking about or that interests you more?
Like the blizzards and major storms and hurricanes, especially Superstorm Sandy from 2012, I warned people for sure.
Right. The big ones are more dangerous and they take more lives and they are definitely more interesting. Okay, so now let's move. We're talking about weather, and I know that is one of your passions, but another one of your passions is video live streaming and podcasting and uploading videos, and I think you're fantastic at it. I love the fact that you will do a 20-minute video or that you will do a 5-second video and that you will do everything in between, more or less. It's not a time constraint. It's just, this is what I'm going to do. It's either a warning or it's something funny or it's something informational, and I like that whole freedom that you have with your channel. And I like the fact that you are serious and that you're also funny and you attract a lot of different people that way because you're so diverse. I was wondering, do you realize that your podcasts change and save people's lives? What you do, podcasting?
Yes, and they change people's lives forever.
And you save people's lives because you can literally warn them before something comes and get them ready so that they can be in the home or hunkered down when a storm does come through. That's fantastic. It's a really good thing that you do for people, and it's not just the weather. When people are home watching a funny video, and let's say they turn on YouTube and they pull up a Frankie MacDonald video and you're warning them about alligators in Florida. And they're like, oh, it's an alligator warning. I better watch this. So they sit there and they watch it, and maybe they could have gone out in the street and gotten hit by a bus, but instead they were home watching your video. So I want you to know that the power of even putting something funny up is enough to take somebody out of a bad mood, to bring them in the home, or to keep them so they're distracted away from something that they're not thinking about. And I just think that podcasting is beautiful. And I think it's a beautiful thing that what you do.
Yes.
Good.
Especially guys trying to eat 50 hot dogs at once. That's my most viewed video ever on my YouTube channel. That's my very first video with over 1 million views. And I uploaded that video on May 21st, 2012. I got 1.6 million views.
I was watching you before you uploaded that video. I was one of your followers before you put up the hot dog video. Because my first video,
yes.
my first video I saw you do was a weather a weather forecast. And I watched you for.
Hurricane Kai hit New Orleans.
Oh, was that it? I can't remember.
Hurricane Isaac, I did that forecast back in late August 2012.
Ah. Were there any other forecasts that you did?
I did it. Winnipeg Blizzard back in 2012. And I did it. Another video called St. John's Souffle Master Blizzard in 2013. And I just did it. My most viewed local forecast for Nova Scotia was massive storm hit Nova Scotia on Friday, November 1st, 2013. I got over 200,000 views in the video.
Right. What was it about the whenever you hit 1 million views, did you celebrate? Was that a big deal for you on YouTube?
I got a silver play button award from YouTube. It's February the 8th, 2017, when I reached up to 100,000 subscribers. I did a massive earthquake to hit New Zealand anytime soon. Video on October 21st, 2016. 3 weeks later, I absolutely got it right on November 13th, 2016. I was all over the news for that.
Yes. Yeah, you did. You hit it big. And you touched a lot of lives, man. And you still are. And, I went and I did a little research about you. And I went and I saw some other people interview you. And they asked you some really good questions. And a couple of things that you talked about were where you'd like to go in the future. Is there anything that you want to say about that as far as where you're headed?
I'm going on Frankie MacDonald World Tour. I'll be going to every single country on the entire face of the planet Earth. I'll be going on stage. People have to pay at the box office to go see me on stage. I'll be dancing on stage with women. I'll be giving out speeches about my past and my weather reports. I'll be doing comedy skits on stage at Finuans, both indoor and outdoor Finuans all over the world. I'll need an agent. I'll need a manager. I'll need a translator. I'll need lawyers. I'll need a lot of people. I'll need everybody. I'll need a professional camera crew. I'll need a professional photographers. And I'll need sponsors and things like that.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm so happy that you have that vision and you have that direction and you know what you're doing. It's so many times when we're doing this podcasting thing, we're kind of just, feeling our way in the dark until something hits and then you get that direction and then boom, you can go. And to watch you take off like you did was inspiring for me as somebody who's doing the same thing, podcasting and putting up videos on YouTube. I'm kind of curious. I love your shirt, the black shirt that you wear, and it's also on your action figure. It says, Frankie says, be prepared. Where can I get that shirt?
The Lost Cod, clothing company website, www.thelostcod.com.
The Lost
Cod.
The Lost Cod, COD?
Yes.
thelostcod.com.
Yes.
Okay, great, because I'm going to get me one of those shirts for sure. I love it. And all right, let's get into podcasting. I put up videos because I'm an over-the-top podcaster, and I got in algorithmed, and I got my stuff got shut down. Have you ever had a video taken down or ever had a video demonetized on YouTube?
I don't monetize videos. My video wasn't taken down because I don't upload copyrighted materials like copyrighted music.
Excellent.
Because they own the videos.
Excellent. So you've never had a problem with that. And one thing I did notice, Frankie, was when I used to watch YouTube, if I would watch like your channel, I'd watch one of your videos, and then over on the right side, I would see nothing but like 6 recommendations of Frankie MacDonald. Frankie MacDonald, guy eats 50 hot dogs. Frankie MacDonald, weather. Frankie MacDonald, blah, 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 blah. But now, I just noticed this today. I typed in your name, I brought up your channel, I watched a Frankie MacDonald video, and I look over on the right, and it was MSNBC and Stephen Colbert and a bunch of other people, and there were no Frankie MacDonald recommendations. And I feel bad because I know that YouTube has changed the way that they promote us. Have you noticed a drop in your subscribers or a drop in the amount of views that you get on your videos?
That means that I gain a lot of views and I gain subscribers, and the drop in subscribers, some of my fans get banned from YouTube themselves they were subscribed to me once they opened up the new account because their old one got banned.
Right, right. And do you feel bad when you lose people that love you, that subscribe to you, and then YouTube unsubscribes them from your channel and they lose you? Does that make you feel bad?
That means that they feel bad when they get turned, their YouTube account gets terminated. Some of them probably shut down their YouTube account because I don't blame them.
Right. So while I was doing some research on you, I found out that you've got some amazing abilities that most people generally don't have. You have an amazing memory, and you have an uncanny ability to remember dates and directions. How old were you when you realized that you were able to do things that other people couldn't do like that?
That means that I did the very first video of the scenery. I was only age of 23 years old. And
when was the first time someone said, "How did you remember that date?" Do you remember? Like, were you young and you remembered a date when you were a child, and someone said, "How did you remember that date?" Do you remember that?
I remember that date and to give directions to maps and things like that when I was a young teenager.
Young teenager, that's when you realized it. It's an amazing ability you have. Now, that ability to give someone directions from one point to another, is that only within your local area, or is that within the entire country of Canada?
The entire country of Canada and sometimes the United States.
Okay, I'm going to test you, and we'll see. If I live in Northern California, I live very close to San Francisco, and if I wanted to get to Orlando, would you be able to tell me how to do that?
You have to go down on, and when it leaves Sydney, Nova Scotia, you have to go down Victoria Road and Pier, make a left to Welton Street, make a right to 125, take the exit 105, Transcanada Highway, then you go over Cancel Causeway to 104, when to get to New Brunswick Quarters, Route 2. Then you turn off and then to get to Route 95. New Brunswick, then you cross the U.S. border to run I-95. I-95 goes all the way down to Florida. They have to take another interstate highway to get to Orlando.
Interstate 4. That would be Interstate 4. And that's
Interstate 4.
And that is where I used to live. And you got me so close to home, I feel like I'm there already. And you said that so fast, I didn't even finish my cannabis that I was trying to smoke. I'm impressed. You are an impressive guy. You have impressive skills. And my only wish is that more people can find out how awesome you are, that you're not just a weatherman. You're not just a guy who does silly videos and makes people laugh, but there's so many different sides to you. And I
do dance and videos.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I do dance and videos now. I'm doing Bitcoin videos.
I love your dancing videos. I like to dance too sometimes for my audience when I'm doing my podcasts. And you know what else I love? I was watching today, you made me laugh. You know, when you're warning people about alligators in Florida and you were showing how you run from the alligators, I was laughing and I'm like trying to write questions down, and I was doing a little research on you, and I'm trying to be serious, but this video you made me laugh so hard. And thank you for that laughter, because you've made me laugh and you've made my audience laugh so many times. And I don't know if you realize that, man, but there's literally other podcasters that will show one of your videos, and there will be hundreds of people watching that podcast that will see you, that will never heard of you before, and they're all getting enjoyment out of it. And that's a fantastic thing.
I heard that guy, Bass Guy Show, Jack Casey. He runs the Bass Guy Show, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I'm on his show at 1:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 2:20 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time every Wednesday. Bass Guy Show, Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Do you remember dates from, like, important dates from your life? Like if I asked you, how old were you? Oh, well, let me think of something easy. Like, how old were you when you first started broadcasting on your channel, Dogs and Wolves?
I was only 28 years old.
You're 20.
I was only 27 years old when I started Dogs and Wolves channel on June 13, 2011. I was 27 years old.
You remember the exact date? Do you remember the date of everything?
Yeah, and I remembered it. And I was only 26 years old when I did my very first viral video, Severe Earthquake Warning for California, September 2010. And I made it Tosh.0 Season 2, Episode 30 on Comedy Central, United States of America, and Comedy Network Canada.
Wow, man. Okay, now I heard you say in an interview that you predicted an earthquake. What's that all about?
Second, I said Severe Earthquake Warning for California, September 2010.
And then how long after you said that was the earthquake?
Japan had a big earthquake on March 11, 2011. 9.0 magnitude earthquake happened in Japan.
I gotcha. Okay, so, this is a kind of an off question. Do you ever pay attention to politics at all?
That means politics means I have no interest in politics, and all the other people don't like politics. They're not interested in politics. A lot of other people out there, a lot of other comedians are not interested in politics. And my source of weather reporting is I studied the weather models online. What's the scariest storm or weather? It's like a hailstorm or blizzards. Hailstorm is the worst, and blizzards and the worst. Hailstorms can damage cars, smash windshields, and things like that. And large hail can break windshields, smash windshields, that can damage crops, and that can hurt cattle and livestock and everything. That can knock out power. I just uploaded and streamed lots of broadcasts so far. My favorite color is blue and black. My favorite animal is like dog. And my favorite TV shows, The Simpsons, Reboot, Power Rangers, etc. when I was a kid. And my favorite movie is Geostorm, Twister. And I remember the movie Alien, kind of it. I remember The Day After Tomorrow, 2012, and things like that. My favorite breakfast, lunch, dinner is like pizzas, Chinese food, steaks, hamburgers, hot dogs, pork chops, things like that, and chicken sandwich, and chicken strips, and things like that. My favorite kind of music is rock, metal, alternative, and things like that. My favorite sports, hockey, baseball, and basketball, and football, and stuff like that.
Frankie, thank you so much for doing this interview for me. You know what Frankie did? I gave him the questions, and he read through the last ones really fast. I get the feeling that you're probably ready to go. I'd love for you to stay as long as you want, though, and I want you to know you're welcome here anytime.
That means, and I celebrate when I won the Vital Caper and Excellence Awards on November 2014. My first video that hit 1 million views was Guys Try to See 50 Hot Dogs Once on May 21st, 2012. My second video that hit 1 million views is a guy dancing being chased by a gorilla. My most viewed weather report ever on my YouTube channel is Major Storm that hit South Dakota on Friday, October 4th, 2013.
Wow.
Report weather sites the most like hailstorms, blizzards, hurricanes, and tornadoes, and things like that. And then that means it's extreme weather conditions like hurricanes and blizzards where I live.
You have a stack of books behind you?
Maps. I studied lots of maps when I was a kid. I read street maps, road maps, highway maps, things like that.
Wow, that is so cool. And you're like a sponge. You just absorb information. It's amazing.
And Sarah Sala wrote my book, and I did my book signing on June 23rd, 2018. A lot of people showed up and got my book signed that day.
What's the title of the book?
By Nimbus Publishing in Halifax.
What's the title of the book, Frankie?
Be Prepared. The Frankie MacDonald Guide to Life, Weather, and Everything.
Do you know that my podcast actually has a theme song, and it starts out with a guy saying, "Prepare yourself."
Yes, this is a talking Frankie MacDonald bobblehead designed by National Bobbleheads Hall of Fame Phil Skylar.
Oh, wow. That is so amazing. It's a collector's item. They only made 1,000. I love it. It's wow. That made me laugh so hard.
Colors versions of my bobbleheads now. It's national bobblehead Hall located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, United States.
Oh my goodness. We've got people people are in the chat, and you know, you can't see the chat, but what they're saying is that you're an amazing person, that you are a real life GPS. Somebody named Billy, my friend that made this, actually, his name's Billy. He makes these.
Yeah.
He says that he needs to get your book. So he's going to be getting your book. Oh, we just had, oh, that's a link. Oh, you gave me a link. The Lost Cod. Thank you. Thank you for the links. Thank you, brother. And anyway, somebody's asking me, does he say he has one in the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame?
It's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, United States of America.
Your bobblehead.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Billy Ballantyne from the Ballantyne collection. He also made this, just so you know. This is an Alexa brain, and it's literally a brain in a jar, and it lights up, and Billy made that as well. And you ask it questions and it lights up. It's really cool. But he wants to know who is your favorite YouTuber of all time?
I know Matthew Santoro. He has 6,300,000 subscribers on his channel.
Wow.
And Matthew Santoro is still doing videos since 2010.
Wow. Okay. Shelly just said you've gone very far since your first video, December 16th, 09. Let's see.
And I got news for you. Matthew Santoro first discovered me. That was 2010.
Someone named Shelly says, does Frankie have a girlfriend? You're so cute, Frankie.
That means I'll be dancing with women on stage as well. And then you'll hear what that. And I got a lot of fans out there. I got lots of friends. I know Monica Bleu. She lives in Montreal, Quebec. She lives around the Gaspé region of Quebec, like Bonneville, Quebec. Monica works for Bell Door to Door City in Halifax, Nova Scotia, traveling all across Nova Scotia in 2017 to 2018. She worked for Eastlink in 2018, 2019. Now she's working for Rogers.
Is she a friend of yours?
Yes. My father is Frank MacDonald. That's one of my family members. He runs a SoundCloud. His SoundCloud is Mystic Miss. You should listen to his songs.
Okay. They're still asking so many questions. Shelly says, what are some of your other interests besides weather?
That means I do Bitcoin now too. It's like cryptocurrency. That's a different kind of currency. Bitcoin. One Bitcoin is more than over $10,000 in American currency.
Okay, so
I do dance videos and I do comedy videos.
And someone named Sean said you're very inspiring to them. That's very nice. That's really nice questions people are asking. And how has being on the internet changed your life?
It changed me since severe earthquake warning for California in September 2010. A lot of people discovered me from that video.
A lot of people. How many people?
So many people discovered me because of this viral video.
You think you know how many people discovered you, but you know those numbers don't show is when somebody else is showing someone that video, or there might be 3 people watching that video, or someone might be watching that video in a bar full of 15, 20 people, and they're all watching it together. So you may have touched even more than what I'm sure. In fact, I know you've touched more than what those numbers reflect.
First Winnipeg Jets NHL team, follow me on Twitter. Second, now Calgary Flames. Follow me on Twitter because they discovered me. My favorite hockey team is the Ottawa Senators. My favorite baseball team is the Blue Jays.
That's your favorite. Okay. And you had said your favorite color before. What was your favorite color? Blue?
Blue and black.
Blue and black. Yeah. And have you ever left Have you ever left Nova Scotia?
2001, when I went to Cavendish PEI, and I went to Moncton, New Brunswick when I was a little toddler. And when I was only 17 years old, I went to Cavendish PEI. That's before I became famous. I wasn't even an adult yet.
When I was watching the alligators might attack Florida warning video, I could swear I heard a woman laughing in the background. Was there someone there with you?
Yeah, and did you hear about that? And I went to Portabass, Newfoundland when I was a toddler. I went to Corner Brook, Newfoundland when I was a little toddler too.
Okay. And as far as family goes, do you have any brothers and sisters or cousins or aunts, uncles, anything like that? Any other family?
No. I live with my grandparents and my uncle.
Okay.
And did you hear? My grandparents got two Pomeranians. CJ's a big Pomeranian. Max is a little Pomeranian. When they're happy.
Oh, are they around right now? I would love to see them. I love Pomeranians.
They're in the house.
Oh, can you call them in?
No.
No?
And I got the pictures of them on LinkedIn. Flank99. That's my LinkedIn channel. That's named after my old YouTube channel.
What is the name of it?
Flank99. Back then, my old YouTube channel was Flank99. I was scared back then, and I didn't know how to ignore negative comments back then. I shut down my old YouTube channel myself.
Right, I had shut down my old YouTube channel as well because I was getting trolled by people and they were threatening me. I didn't know what to do, so I just shut the whole thing down.
I ignore all trolls. I ignore all trolls. Don't feed the trolls. Don't talk to trolls. That means on my Life Leak. That's my Life Leak channel. It's named after my old YouTube channel.
That can really help you succeed in life is by just ignoring the trolls and focusing on the positive.
That means now I'm doing cryptocurrency videos now too.
What do you mean you're doing cryptocurrency videos?
Like Bitcoin.
What are you talking about? What the values are of the Bitcoin, or?
Yes, the Bitcoin is over $11,683.09. That's one Bitcoin. 10 Bitcoin is $116,839. 100 Bitcoin is $1,168,390. 1,000 Bitcoin is $11,683,900. And 10,000 Bitcoin is $116,839,000 American. And 100,000 Bitcoin is $1,168,390,000. It's like 1 million Bitcoin is $11,683,900,000. And 1 million Bitcoin is $160,839,000,000.
Wow. What do you do when you have that kind of money?
To go everywhere in the world.
If you want to go somewhere, I think I would just pay someone to travel around for me and take some pictures and send me the photographs. You know? I'm not big on travel. I did this big move over here to California and I've stayed here. It's a beautiful place. So someone named Shelly says she saw that Chris St. Clair is someone you really respect. Have you had a chance to work with them?
I remember that Greg Hanna interviewed me on February 25th, 2015. He used to live in Toronto, Ontario. He did RUTTV News. Now he's living up Yellowknife, Northwest Territories now. That guy interviewed me on February 25th, 2015.
And wasn't there a guest appearance from Chris on that show where he addressed you?
I don't remember.
Oh.
That means Nathan Coleman interviewed me in February 2015 for the Weather Network. CBC interviewed me for my t-shirts in February 2015. And the guy in Texas got a tattoo of my face on his left leg. Ernest DaCosta.
You don't know sports stats too, do you?
That means
Like,
St. Louis Blues was the last team that won the Stanley Cup. The last original 6 team that won the Stanley Cup was the Blackhawks. The last Canadian team that won the Stanley Cup was Montreal Canadiens 1993. The last time that the original 6 team in the Eastern Conference won the Stanley Cup was Boston Bruins 2011. The last time the Canadian team made it to the finals, that was Vancouver Canucks 2011. The last Canadian team in the Eastern Conference made it to the finals is Ottawa Senators 2007, but lost to Anaheim Ducks.
do you know individual stats of players?
Wayne Gretzky is the best hockey player of all times.
So good. You don't get into the specifics about that, though.
That means Vancouver Canucks won the President's Trophy, first place overall in 2011 and 2012.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. You are an impressive person, and you have a lot of information in that brain of yours. If only we knew how you did it. If only you could tell us what the secret is to being able to remember all these numbers. I can't even add 8 plus 3. You know, I get confused. Just little simple things like that, and yet you can remember things that happened 15 years ago to the day. And that is just an amazing thing. It's an amazing talent. It must be fun if you ever go to a cocktail party. You could really impress some people with some dates, man.
My most viewed international weather report is Typhoon Haiyan hit Philippines in 2013.
Wow. So, good. I think we're good, man. That is fantastic. Is there anything else you wanna share with us while we got you live here?
Yes, I got Frankie Now action figures on FrankieActionFigure.com, and my book is Be Prepared. Frankie Now got life, weather, and everything. And my bobbleheads by National Bobbleheads Hall of Fame. People can follow me on Twitter at Frankie McD. My YouTube channel, Stocks and Wolves. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. And Frank Now fan page with blue check mark. My Instagram is Frankie MacD1984. My TikTok is Frankie MacDonald 1984. My Snapchat is Frankie MacDon. And my LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald.
Thank you so much, Frankie. And just one more quick question. What's your favorite band? Someone named Tyler wants to know. What's your favorite band?
I Peaches by the Presidents of the United States of America. I definitely like Peaches.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Frankie, from Nay's Garden and from all the audience members that are watching this now and watch this in the future and all the people that you inspire, thank you so much for doing this interview with us. It's wonderful to get to know you better.
Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald of Sydney, Nova Scotia, Canada.
All right, take care, brother. Bye-bye.
You too. All right.
Man. I apologize to all of you who thought this thing was going to go you know, I was literally laying in bed relaxing when Frankie texted me on Twitter and said, "I'm ready." And I thought, and this was 2 minutes before noon, and I thought to myself, what happened? Oh, I thought to myself, it's 2 minutes before noon. Oh, hey, Cyber. Hey, what's up, brother? He's saying he's ready, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, that means he got my questions. I sent him the questions, and he's ready to do the thing. And I didn't want to, because I was thinking, you know, I hope he doesn't mean he's ready right now. Atlantic Standard Time is different than Eastern Standard Time, I guess. But I don't know how I made the mistake. I got the time wrong. Send me a link. What do you want to link to, brother? But anyway, so I'm laying in bed and I hear the Skype call coming through from bed. And I'm like, oh my God, he's calling me out. So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm in my boxer shorts. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's just testing the link. You know, he doesn't want to go live right now. And I come over, you know, I put my clothes on, and I answer the call. He called me twice. I missed the first call. He called me right back, and I answered it. And I go, hey there, buddy. And I'm black screen, and he's right there. He's like, hey. And I'm like, are you ready to go live right now? And he said, yes, I'm and he starts, and I was like, I'm not live yet. I'm like, hold on one second. Let me get my camera up. You know, I get the shirt on and I pull up the camera. And I said, I've got to apologize to you. I thought that Atlantic Standard Time was Eastern Standard Time, and I thought this interview was going to be in an hour. I said, however, I have the ability to go live right now. I was like, do you want to do it right now? He's like, yeah, I want to go do it right now. He was ready. And I was like, okay. I mean, this was the time that he told me he was going to do it. It's only fair. I fucked it up. And I always fuck something up every interview, you know? And I'm like, okay. I was like, so I'm trying to stall. I'm like, man, people are going to be upset because we're going an hour early. Someone's like, man, I couldn't wait for that interview. And man, I came right in at 1 and boom, you were already done. I know. Cheers, Cyber Reload. No law regarding cannabis. Cannabis is a test for all, brother. Cheers. I said, do you know what cannabis? I said marijuana. I said, you know what cannabis marijuana is? And he said, he starts telling me the dates that they legalized it. He knows the freaking dates and everything. He knows the dates. He knows all the information. He starts reciting it like a freaking book. And I said, the reason I'm asking you is because I wanted to know if it's okay if I use cannabis, if I smoke, and I showed him if I smoke my bong while you're talking. And he said, yes. And I said, okay, I just don't want it to distract you. I said, I'm going to grab this, I'm going to smoke it, I'm going to be blowing smoke rings. He said, no problem. While him and I are sitting there, I don't want to go live. I just want to sit and talk to him, you know. It's like I have this person that I've watched for years, and that, you know, I have this opportunity to have a private conversation with them. You guys, it is the most incredible opportunity to have those few moments with these people before we go live. It is just, it's life-changing. Yeah, bro, he has got an incredible, insane memory. So he had a stack of books behind him on the counter. He had like 30 books stacked up behind him, you know, 40 books, maybe more. And I'm like, I noticed you have some books behind you. What is that you're reading? He said they're all maps, road maps and weather almanacs or something like that. And I'm just like, he just reads, he just sucks up information, man. And I asked him how to get from San Francisco to Orlando, and he knew the directions, man. He gave me the directions from Nova Scotia. First, from Nova Scotia to San Francisco to Orlando. The only thing he didn't know was when you get down to 95, it does go by Orlando. You just have to hop on Interstate 4 and cross over. He's like, he just didn't know the number I-4. He's like, then you have to get on one more interstate into Orlando. And I go, Interstate 4. And he's like, right, Interstate 4. And I'm like, you just took me home, bro. Gives me hope. Oh, Billy, that's the most beautiful thing you ever could have said to me, man. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I do this, and that's why he does it. And I just want him to know how many people he affects when he does it. Because it seems like a fun thing. You're just uploading videos. It turns into something gigantic. And you're touching millions of lives, and he's keeping people alive. You know? He is an inspiration. He should be an inspiration to all of us. I can't remember anything either. He has an ability. Imagine us, the cannabis community. Collective, his memory is better than all of us put together. Think about that. How does he remember dates? I can't even remember. It's like, I can't even tell you the things I can't remember because it's embarrassing. But I can't remember things, man. You can ask my family. They know. I want to. And it's like, oh, I got to write it all down. And then that's the only way. It has to all be written down. I'm freaking out that I missed it. Yeah. I'm a bad person, man. I had the time wrong. And you could go back and rewind this on one of the channels. I don't know if it's Facebook or YouTube, or one of the channels lets you rewind. You could go back and watch the whole interview. So exciting to have him on. I'm so sad that we were an hour off. But I can tell right now it's 103 and our numbers have not shot up. So I would say that we did good. You're napping with sounds off? Yeah. I almost missed him too. I was literally in bed trying to catch a little nap before the, and he tweeted me. He tweet messaged me. He's like, I'm ready. I'm like, hell yeah, he's ready, man. And then I was like, oh no, is he ready right now? Like, wait, is this the time? I'm like freaking out. So then when I'm asking him, I'm like, is Atlantic Standard? He starts going, Atlantic Standard Time is Pacific Standard Time. He starts reading all the time zones, comparing them all to each other and saying exactly how many hours they are off from each other. He rattles shit off like it's nothing. And I don't know if he realizes how amazing that is, how impressive it is, what he can do. He seems so unaffected by his own ability. And it's almost like he does it just because he knows people like to hear it. He's like, yeah, people start smiling when I do it, so I'm just going to do it. But it's like he doesn't give a shit about it. He's like, yeah, I have the ability. He's fucking superhuman. He has a superhuman power. And boy, oh boy, if science could only figure out how that works and how to apply that to everybody, we could solve Alzheimer's probably. You know? Yeah, it's normal, right? He doesn't, and when he's recalling stuff, he's not realizing that we're like, what? You know, he knows everybody who's won World Cup and it's like he knows all of the, and I'm wondering what else does he memorize? You know, I want to know what else he memorizes. That's why he doesn't really like to reveal it. You have to kind of pry. You know? What an amazing thing. That memory. God. I didn't know if he was going to make it even through that half hour. I thought he started, you know, I knew he had enough when he started reading through he started answering all the questions. I didn't realize he was reading along. A couple times he jumped ahead of me, and I was like, I think he's reading the questions before I asked them. But this is why I gave him all the questions first. Because I watched other interviews with him, and he's very short and accurate with his answers. If you ask him a question, like you say, how old were you when you blah, 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 doesn't say anything, blah, 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 and he just comes back and says, 15. You know, if you don't, I guess, give him some kind of warning about what's coming, he's just going to hit everything head on. Bam, 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 like a train going through, you know, knocking shit out of the tracks. Bam, bam, out of my way, next, boom, boom, boom. So I gave him the questions so he'd have time to mull them over and give him an opportunity, because I wanted him to expand on all of it. And it worked. He did expand on a lot of things that I wanted him to. And I heard him say some things that I hadn't heard in other interviews. And I think that's important, you know, to get some of the stuff out that people haven't talked about yet. You know, that's not too personal, but it's still important, and things that people want to know. I hope you guys got some of that out of that interview. I'm actually going to go watch it. Right now, I'm going to go back and watch it. I hope you guys had fun. I will see you on the next show, probably around 4:20 this afternoon. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll keep this one at an hour. This, once again, I have to promote my buddy, Ronnie Placone. You guys, please check out Ronnie on YouTube. It's YouTube, Get Your News On with Ron. And on Twitter, it's at Ron Placone. I think I see a hummingbird out in the grow. It's beautiful. Please let him know that I sent you over there. Know that he promotes the heck out of Triage Oil on his show. He says he calls us a sponsor of his show, and he's a sponsor of our show. I want to say we are sponsored by Get Your News On with Ron over there on YouTube. Please check him out. All right, you guys, thanks. Big, huge shout out to our guest today. Thank you, Frankie MacDonald. You are an incredible, interesting, entertaining, wonderful person, and we really enjoyed having you on our show. And thank you, because you know it really helps view the visibility of my little channel and my algorithmed, choked channel. Having someone like Frankie on really helps. So thank you for doing that, and for all other podcasters out there that are doing this sort of thing. Remember your fellow podcasters and do what you can to boost them up there. All right, you guys, take care. I'll see you on the next show. Later, Cyber. Later, everybody. Fuck you guys. I ain't going. I ain't gonna go. I'm gonna stay. What? Who left, you suckers? Who left? Who stays? Who goes? Who knows? I'm still here. Why? Let's get trendy up in this bitch. I'm waiting for someone to go, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. There's too much love in this room. There is too much. This is huge, man. This was a huge interview. And whether it was giant for the visibility of the channel, it doesn't matter. It was huge for me. It meant a lot to me to have him on this show. And he's so nice, man. He was such a nice guy, man. He was so down to earth and so real and so cool. I hope you guys got that out of him. I hope you guys got how real he is. Because that's him, man. That is him. When I pulled up his call and he started talking to me, that is exactly how he talks. Now, he blasts out his intro like I blast out my intro, but his conversation, man, that's his gait, that's his tone. He has no intonation. It is one note and boom, that's where he's at, man. And it's just like, you're like, wow, man, this is Frankie, man. This is him. So you are getting the real deal when you see him. And that's another reason why you guys should subscribe to his channel. And you know what? Because he's got 250,000 subscribers, I believe, on his YouTube channel, I believe. And because he's got millions and millions, he's got 41 million views on YouTube. Because of those two facts, I forget to tell you, hey, go subscribe to Dogs and Wolves on YouTube. But hey, go subscribe to Dogs and Wolves on YouTube, everybody. Please, go subscribe to his channel. I mean, he's silly, and he's funny, and he's hilarious. And one day, you might watch one of his shows, and he might warn you about a system that's coming to your town. Right? So please go subscribe to his channel for me, Dogs and Wolves, on YouTube. All right? He's also Freddie MacD on Twitter, at Twitter. At Freddie? Did I say Freddie? Frankie MacD on Twitter. Frankie. This is the amount of time we have to live, short and sweet. Does he have autism? He might, Debbie. I wouldn't be surprised. He definitely has savant, you know. All right. No law regarding cannabis. Cannabis isn't just for all. Cheers, everybody. That was some good stuff right there. Well, I asked Frankie how old he was when he realized he had the knack for remembering things. You remember that? And he went into another answer to another question, if I remember correctly. So I'm not there to push him, if you know. Nat Geo? Huh. I loved his answer to the question, what do you like better, dogs or wolves? He says they're both the same thing. And you know, I knew he was going to say that. I was like, that's probably going to be his answer. But I just want to hear him say it. And sure enough, man, yeah, they're both the same thing. They're canines. They're both. I was like, hell yeah, man. Nay, would you sing that song again? When you were off camera, did you ever ask him if he has ever used cannabis? No, I did not ask him if he used cannabis. I assume that he has never used cannabis. But I didn't need to know. I wasn't even curious about it. I just wanted to know if it was okay with him if I used cannabis during the interview. And he was perfectly fine with that. I got to tell you, Nick says it was cool as fuck how fast he accepted your invite. He's a cool fella. Been following him since Sandy. And I've got to tell you, the rapport he had with me through the messenger, it was fantastic. And when I had him on face to face and we were just talking, I felt so comfortable talking to him. And after I could tell, after about 2 minutes of him and I talking to each other, he relaxed. I just saw him totally relax. And he started, he was just, you know what I asked him? And it kind of broke the ice because he was very robotic. He was like, he told me who he was. And I said, I know who you are. I said, I'm a big fan. I said, I've been watching you for years. And I said, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this for me. I want you to know I really, really appreciate this. I really can't say it enough. And he said, okay. And I said, can you see me okay? And he goes, yes. I said, you can see my beard? And he goes, yes. I said, you going to grow one of these? He goes, no. And he got so fucking serious when he said no, like he knows that just looks silly. It was so perfect, man. He is as pure as they come. He is, I called him real before. He's beyond real. He is pure, man. You get full transparency, and if you ask him the wrong question, he will answer another one because that's how he deals with it. And that's good. That's good. I got it. I'm like, that's good. We're not going to talk about that. We'll talk about something else. I will ask. I couldn't believe Shelly asked about a girlfriend and he answered that. And I was like, that is gold. I was like, that is gold. I was just sitting there going, man, I had no idea if he had interest in a girl or not or whatever. And you asked that question. I was not going to ask him that. And I just thought it was not too intrusive. I just thought it was a fantastic question. And thank you, Shelly, for offering that. It made the interview to me, that question, How am I doing? I'm hanging in there, bro, the whole thing with what's been going on with the channel has really kind of whirlwinded me through this part of my life. It's kind of picked me up. It's like put wind in my sails. That, and I'm working on, I got a lot to share, bro. I've been working on these trails on my property, these hiking trails, and I've been putting them in by hand. I put on gloves and I grab a rake and I go out there and I rake out these trails, and it rakes down my property, rakes down to the bedrock. I mean, it's either sand or it's bedrock. And either way, when you walk on this repeatedly, it packs down and it becomes solid. And you end up getting these amazing trails through these amazing trees on this amazing piece of property. And Brian Wallace says, shout out to Wisconsin from Frankie. You mean shout out from Wisconsin to Frankie, Brian? So I've been out there working, and I've been taking the dog out there with me. And I've got, I haven't clocked it to see how far it is. But, it takes me at least a half hour. If I go out there with the dog and I walk all the way to the end of the property, and I take a left or a right, it doesn't matter now. I've got it raked out. I'm looking at a half-hour walk, bro, all the way around that loop. I'm out there for like a freaking half hour. And you get lost out there. It happened to me when I brought on David and James yesterday to host the show. Yeah, Billy, I bought it. I bought that tractor. I'm so excited. It's a skid steer, an old skid steer. It's called a Mustang. It's got a picture of a Mustang on the side. I fucking love it. It has the same exact connections as the Caterpillar, or as the Bobcat, or maybe Caterpillar. I can't remember, Cat or Bobcat. I think it's Caterpillar. Health back on track. Got my pension still growing. Build a little home studio. Hell yeah. Has come so far in the past 3 years since I started watching you. It's beyond awesome to be a attorney and watch you come up. Thanks, Nick. What are you up to? Mustangs are good machines. So yesterday, Cyber, I went with my friend Mark that does all the work for me. Mark built this for me. He found this skid steer tractor, and he's like, bro, I found this thing. The price is crazy. It comes with all this stuff, and it's got a freaking trailer. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, let's go look at it. So we go and we look at it. It's a diesel, right? It's got a forklift on it right now, which is perfect for logs. And he takes this thing, man. He gets inside it, and he turns the key. Well, bam! It starts running instantly. You know how when you start an engine, it's like, you know, like that? It wasn't like that. It was running. As soon as you turn the key, it was like electric. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, I'll take it. That thing fucking runs like a top. I know how these old diesels are, bro. They run forever. I've had enough, and I've got a guy down the street that works on them. Plus, Mark works on them. It had semi-good tires on it. I'm thinking about getting tracks on it. You put an OTT kit on it over the tire kit. You put tracks. They go right over the freaking tire, so it's like a fucking tank. Like a little mini Sherman tank. It's got a cab. It's got joysticks. You move them both forward to go forward. You move them both back to go back. Go like that to spin the whole thing. And then it's got, you know, the up and down and then the motion of the dump. And then it's got a backhoe on it with like a big fucking backhoe bucket, bro. I'm going to be able to dig trenches. It's so awesome. I can't wait to dig trenches, man, because I got some trenches I got to dig. I got some trenches I got to dig, son. I got some boulders I got to move. I got some walls I got to stack. I got some ponds I got to dig. I got some ponds I got to dig. I'm going to dig some ponds up in this bitch. Man, I got to make me a slide. I got to make me all kinds of shit, bro. And that little thing is going to do so much. So, we looked up the price. Mark and I looked up the price of these things. They are on the internet. You can find these Mustangs. They are on the internet. And we were looking up the price of them. Now, we were finding them, but they weren't nearby. Now, this is one that we can go pick up. And none of them came with a goddamn attachment at all. Not forks, not a bucket, nothing. Yeah, I can see you. What's up, Ice? Yo, Ice Man. I can see you. What's up, Ice Man? We're smoking. Yo, Cyber. Yo, Ice. We're smoking. What's up, son? We're smoking, son. Cheers, everybody. Patience. I don't know why I didn't see you. Ice, was I ignoring you? Sorry, brother. I don't know if I saw you come in or not. My brother, sometimes I ignore shit and I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. It's not a personal thing. It's like a weird thing. If you were in there typing, I can't really believe that. So the attachments are anywhere from, $1,000 to $3,000-$4,000. The backhoe is a very extensive piece of equipment. It comes with the backhoe. It comes with 2 or 3 buckets. 3 buckets. It comes with, right, and the bucket on the backhoe. The bucket on the backhoe is smaller, and then the buckets, regular buckets are wide. It's got forks for a forklift, right? So backhoe, 3 buckets, right? Forks, forklift. It's also got a rake for raking the ground, which I fucking need bad. That's what I really need it for. I want to clear this property. And it's got a fucking tiller, which I need for after I level shit off. I'm going to be tilling the ground and putting in a goddamn gardens everywhere, motherfucker. And I'm going to be, oh my God, I'm going to be doing so much shit. Bad out. And this thing, the way it works, it doesn't run unless you put this big bar like a roller coaster. It's got one of those metal bars that comes down and clicks on, or it won't run. It won't start unless you put down that big fucking safety bar. Like a roller coaster. Have I said that like 3 times already? Yeah, it's got a big bar. Like a roller coaster. Yeah. James says, get it. Yeah. Nope, I couldn't see him. He wasn't showing up on the chat. Oh, okay, cool. What's a tiller? A tiller, it digs into the ground deeper than the rake does. The rake will just scrape the top of the ground. The tiller will shred the ground, so you can put all your compost and shit in there and put plants in there. It makes it a tiller tills the ground so you can. It's like those things that people walk behind with an ox. It rips the ground up. It's got that big plow on it. It tills the ground. And then, oh man, that backhoe. Oh, I'm so excited. I got to get my big tractor up and running and get that thing down on the flat. And I can drop to that thing, put a road in just for that thing, drop to that, and then distribute with that fucking thing. Like 20, 30 fucking boulders at a time. I can move it. I could take 30 boulders with the big one. I'm going to be having so much fun. It's going to be playtime up in this bitch. My problem is getting the cash over from one bank to another bank. So I contacted the bank today and I said, I need to transfer this money. And they were like, we can only do $7,000. I was like, well, that ain't going to do it. I was like, how are we going to do more? And they're like, you're going to have to do a wire transfer. I said, well, what's the limit on that? And they go, no limit. I go, cool. Send us an email. Give us the info. I was like, all right. I fucking went on their website and I filled out their form, and boom. Done. Done deal. Carl's on the bed back there. He's all curled up, sleeping. He's so fucking cute. He's all curled up. So I was looking in the mirror. I was like, oh man, check this out. See, I got this like triangle, and that thing almost hit me right in the middle. So there's going to be a scar, and it totally looks like an eye. Your transformation into becoming this all-seeing eye, and the pyramid of all-seeing masons has become the grand leader, is complete. Your all-seeing eye is now complete. You are now the leader of the masons. You shall conduct all masonry business through the proper channels we designate to you. You are now the third eye, all-seeing eye. Very, very important. I'm like, I got a pyramid. Oh my God, I got a pyramid. I knew about the fucking pyramid. I got the goddamn pyramid, and now I got an eye right in the middle of it. I got the goddamn eye right in the middle of the goddamn pyramid. But I got it. It's funny is I got to do that in order to make the pyramid. I can't just be like this. I got to be like this. This is why I must talk like this. When my eyes I'm third high. That's what I am. I can't wait to go. You know, it's horrible. I can't wait to go hiking out there again. But my knee, so it would be cool to have that I think that skid steer for a while and stay off my leg and get a lot of work done out here, man. One thing I'm gonna do is flatten some roads, man, so it's flat. Everything's got a slant on it. I'm gonna cut everything in flat and make it safe. There's got to be a little bit of a taper, but not this shit. A little bit of a taper so water will drain, in my opinion. For if we ever do get rains ever again. Can you imagine if we just stopped getting rain? People are like, hey man, you know what? It hasn't rained around here in like 3 years. What's up with that? Farmers be like, you're telling us? Cheers, Cyber. Yeah, I can't wait for that scar to heal to see how that scar is going to look in there. You know, should be pretty much right in the middle. I love rain. Yeah, we don't get too much of that out here. And when we do, it's not like that awesome fucking rain they get in Florida where it's like really heavy rain. We don't get that. It'll just like, well, you know, it used to just drizzle for days. And now I must say it does seem to rain harder out here. It does seem to rain harder. Rarely will you hear thunder. Maybe once a year you'll hear thunder out here, if you're lucky. Even when it is raining. Hell yeah, David C. Baker Jr., thank you, brother. Oh! Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've got some work I need to attend to, actually. I've got my neighbor, really nice guy. I offered to grade his road a long time ago, and he said, no, please don't. And him and I talked the other day, and he's like, yeah, man, will you grade my road for me? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. So I'm gonna go down there on the quad because it's a tricky spot, and I have to even see if I can get my grader up where he wants me to do it. So I'm gonna get on the quad, drive down there, and see what that looks like. Also, I think I'm buying a new sawmill. So, geez, now that I got the forks on that fucking thing, I won't need a ramp anymore. I'll just drive up with a log, lower the forks down, and just roll it off the forks right onto the sawmill. Boom! That thing is going to be awesome. Plus, I got a backup diesel tank, 36-gallon diesel tank sitting on my yard. I got two of them, but I use one for petrol. But I could clean it out, man, and put diesel in there and have two. I could have, what would that be, 72 gallons of diesel on property. I'll be able to get so much done. I can't wait to take my logs. I've got logs laying around everywhere. I can't wait to just take logs and just stack them up and, just get them in one spot and so I can deal with it. Oh, man. So they're not all just laying around my property and shit. And there's stuff and junk and I got so much to do. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. How long can you store diesel? Computer. How long can you store diesel?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, between 6 and 12 months. The key is keeping the fuel cool and keeping the fuel dry.
A year.
Diesel fuel can be stored between 6 and 12 months. To extend the life past 12 months, even under the best conditions, it needs to be treated with fuel stabilizers and biocides. By the way, here's a quick tip. I'm a great kitchen companion and promise to not make a mess. Just ask, what should I make for dinner?
Computer. What did I just ask you?
I heard. How long can you store diesel?
That's pretty cool. Hey, Bad Bad Blue Jaws, what's up? Up to a year. You can store diesel. And I'm going to be going through it, fast, obviously. I got a lot of work to do. I don't know how many gallons that tank holds on that machine, but man, I can't wait to get that thing. God bless America. Oh, yeah. And they had a trailer for sale too. And I got the trailer. It's a dump trailer. So I got that, all the accessories. What is it? 7 accessories, including the backhoe. 7 accessories, including the backhoe and the dump trailer. That means, man, when I got to take my quad down and have it worked on or something, I'll be able to just throw it in that dump trailer, take it down, have it worked on. Do you feel like singing and playing guitar? No, Josephine, but thank you for asking. No, my voice is a little tapped out, actually. I need to rest it. And you can drive all of them? What was that? I gotta take this. I will see you guys later, man. I gotta go. I will talk to you soon. No law regarding cannabis, and make sure you check out Nave's Garden at navesgarden.com, man. That's the website. And there's the plants. All right. Cool. There it is. Thanks again, guys. Thanks. Bye, y'all.